Thanks to its flat terrain, minimal risk from predators, and steady water sources, this region becomes the first cradle of life in the migration cycle. As the blue wildebeest sweep across southern Serengeti, their journey begins at one of the most remarkable points on the ecological map, the Ndutu Plains. Unlike many other parts of the Serengeti, which feature rolling hills or pockets of dense woodland, Ndutu stands out with its relatively flat, open terrain, like a vast natural stage. The landscape in Ndutu is more than just open grasslands. Scattered strips of acacia woodlands are woven in beautifully, offering shade and food for giraffes, elephants, and a wide variety of fruit-eating birds. The presence of these ancient acacia trees creates a peaceful habitat for migratory bird species, making Ndutu one of the most captivating bird-watching destinations during the rainy season in East Africa.
Under the sun of the African plains, Maasai Mara unfolds as a system shaped by a long course of evolution. Golden grasslands stretch with the dry wind, carrying the scent of red soil and the continuous cycle of growth that defines the savanna. Across more than 580 square miles, grasslands, winding rivers, thorny scrub, and low ridges connect into a space where every movement has its place. As dawn breaks, red light spreads along the horizon and triggers the Great Migration. Millions of wildebeest and zebras begin to move, forming a biological flow repeated across generations. Lions vocalize to mark territory. Cheetahs move low through tall grass, tracking brief opportunities. Above, hundreds of bird species hold distinct roles within the ecological network, while grazers such as Thompson's gazelles and ostriches maintain the operating rhythm of the plains. Maasai Mara functions as a theater of survival, where relationships between predators and prey are defined by efficiency and energy use. Lions rely on collective strength to control wide territories, using claws and vocalizations as tools to dominate space. Cheetahs persist through speed, accelerating over short distances to conclude hunts with high precision, while accepting the risk of losing their kills. Ostriches, large flightless birds, occupy an intermediate position within this system. They are both pursued as prey and contribute to environmental stability by regulating insects and dispersing seeds. Competition among species shapes the structure of Maasai Mara. With populations numbering in the hundreds, lions hunt antelope, zebras, and even large-bodied buffalo, and frequently appropriate kills from cheetahs through superior strength and numbers. Cheetahs achieve high success rates in short chases, but the exhaustion that follows leaves them vulnerable to being displaced. Ostriches monitor their surroundings with long-range vision, selecting speed and escape direction to avoid direct confrontation. When forced to defend themselves, powerful kicks can cause serious injury, though the primary strategy remains leaving danger zones with minimal energy expenditure. The relationship between lions and cheetahs reflects stratification within the food chain. Lions maintain dominance through the ability to take large prey and control access to food, pushing cheetahs back into repeated hunting cycles. Ostriches, while not predators, serve a regulating function. Their diet of grasses, seeds, and insects directly affects vegetation structure and soil conditions, helping grasslands sustain herds of antelope and zebras. All of this competition sustains the balance of Maasai Mara. Lions limit large, herbivore populations, cheetahs regulate smaller grazers, and ostriches influence insects and plant dynamics. The remaining biomass becomes energy for hyenas, vultures, and jackals, closing the food web. At the same time, this system is under pressure from habitat reduction, human-wildlife conflict, and climate variability. These forces alter the conditions under which lions, cheetahs, and ostriches persist, and directly affect the rhythm by which Maasai Mara operates as an integrated ecological whole. As dusk settles over the grasslands of the Maasai Mara, a low, fast movement appears within the tall grass. The cheetah enters the frame as a biological structure optimized for speed. With a body mass ranging from approximately 40 to 60 kilograms, its lean, streamlined form minimizes drag during acceleration. Within a few brief seconds, a cheetah can reach speeds of nearly 60 miles per hour. Its semi-retractable claws maintain contact with the ground, providing stable traction across uneven terrain. The long tail functions as a steering mechanism, allowing rapid adjustments when prey changes direction abruptly. Its yellow coat, patterned with black spots, breaks up the body outline in tall grass, while also aiding heat dissipation under the high temperatures of the savanna. Large eyes expand the field of vision, enabling the cheetah to identify prey from a distance. Black streaks running from the inner corners of the eyes to the mouth reduce glare from sunlight. Helping maintain focus under intense brightness. However, a hunting strategy based on explosive acceleration imposes clear physiological limits. After each short chase, heart rate rises sharply and body temperature exceeds safe thresholds, forcing the cheetah to stop and recover. During this period, it becomes vulnerable to interference from larger predators, particularly lions, which hold an advantage in strength and spatial control. Within the Maasai Mara ecosystem, the cheetah exists as a highly specialized link. It does not control territory through numbers or physical power. but through the ability to exploit brief moments when prey loses awareness. This strategy allows the cheetah to maintain its position in the food chain while ensuring that each hunting attempt carries significant risk. Every approach is a calculation of energy, timing, and the ability to avoid disruption by competitors. The evolutionary history of the cheetah reflects this specialization. Belonging to the genus Acinonyx, it is the only surviving representative of an evolutionary branch focused on speed. Fossil evidence shows that ancestral cheetahs were once widely distributed across Europe and Asia, with larger body sizes and different structural proportions. Over time, the form became progressively lighter, prioritizing reduced mass and rapid acceleration to adapt to open environments and increasing competition. Major population bottlenecks in the past led to reduced genetic diversity, creating biological constraints that are still evident in cheetah populations today. The cheetah's anatomy clearly expresses this evolutionary direction. A flexible spine allows for extended stride length with each bound. Limb bones are arranged to limit rotational movement, increasing stability at high speed. Reduced shoulder blades, connected by ligaments, help absorb impact and extend range of motion. Rough foot pads combined with semi-retractable claws provide the necessary grip. A lightweight skull with enlarged nasal passages, along with a well-developed heart and lungs, supports rapid oxygen exchange over short durations. Together, these features form a biological structure optimized for short, high-intensity pursuits, suited to the demanding operational rhythm of the Maasai Mara. Under conditions where temperatures in the Maasai Mara can exceed 40 degrees Celsius, the cheetah's spotted coat plays a role in thermal regulation and in breaking up its outline against dry grass and dust. The black spots, each several centimeters in size, are arranged in patterns unique to each individual, allowing biological identification. In rare individuals, a recessive genetic mutation causes the spots to merge into larger streaks, producing the pattern known as the king cheetah. When a cheetah stands atop elevated ground, such as termite mounds, this vantage point allows it to survey the surrounding area, taking full advantage of the open savanna landscape to assess hunting opportunities. The cheetah functions primarily as a solitary predator, not relying on pack structures. Its strategy is built on observation, patience, and brief bursts of acceleration. In the Maasai Mara, cheetahs hunt mainly during daylight hours, concentrating on early morning and late afternoon to reduce heat stress and avoid larger predators that are more active at night. Typical prey consists of medium and small-sized grazers such as Thompsons, gazelles, impalas, young wildebeest, or juvenile zebras, targets that match the physiological limits of a short chase. The hunt begins with a cautious approach. The cheetah remains concealed in tall grass, monitoring the movements of the prey herd and adjusting its position according to wind direction. The distance is reduced to a few dozen meters before the sprint is initiated. Once the chase begins, the cheetah accelerates rapidly, using its long stride and flexible spine to maximize distance covered with each bound. For a brief period, it maintains high speed, closes in from behind, disrupts the prey's balance by striking the hind legs, and then completes the capture with a bite to the throat that restricts breathing. The cheetah's hunting success rate is relatively high compared to many other predators, yet failure is common when prey changes direction abruptly or when the initial distance is not sufficiently short. In environments with high lion density, such as the Maasai Mara, the timing and location of a hunt are critical. After bringing down prey, the cheetah's body temperature rises rapidly, and heart rate reaches extreme levels, forcing it to pause for recovery. This interval significantly increases the risk of losing the kill to larger predators. Field observations indicate that cheetahs favor smaller prey to reduce direct competition with lions, yet they still lose a substantial portion of their food to kleptoparasitism. They feed quickly, focusing on energy-rich portions of the carcass, and, under certain conditions, may shift to hunting smaller animals, such as birds or hares. When daytime competitive pressure intensifies, some individuals adjust their activity to nighttime hours, particularly during nights with sufficient moonlight, in order to reduce the risk of confrontation. The social structure of cheetahs is flexible. Females typically live alone or with dependent cubs, moving across multiple areas that overlap with male territories. Males tend to form small coalitions, often composed of related individuals, to control and defend living areas. These coalitions hunt and rest together, but separate during the breeding phase, contributing to the maintenance of genetic flow within the Maasai Mara cheetah population. Within the ecological structure of the Maasai Mara, lions occupy a position of control through strength, social organization, and spatial dominance. This species operates a hunting system based on developed musculature, coordinated group behavior, and vocal signals with a wide range of influence. The roar, carried across the plains, functions to establish boundaries, maintain territorial order, and regulate the behavior of other species within the area. As early daylight spreads across the Maasai Mara savanna, lions appear with a body form suited to a dominant role. Adult males typically weigh between approximately 120 and 190 kilograms, while females are lighter, ranging from about 80 to 130 kilograms. This size places lions among the largest living cat species. The male's mane grows thick and long, covering the neck and shoulders, serving as protection during direct confrontations and reflecting physiological condition and social status. Mane color and density vary among individuals, creating clear differences within the population. Curved, sharp claws allow lions to secure prey, while long, powerful canine teeth are used to deliver a rapid killing bite during close contact. The lion's sensory system is optimized for open grassland environments. Vision is well adapted to low-light conditions, supporting hunting activity at night and at dawn. A strong sense of smell enables the detection of food sources from considerable distances, guiding prides toward carcasses or injured prey. Roaring plays a central role in communication, maintaining cohesion among group members and signaling warnings to intruding individuals. This sound travels across wide areas, exerting influence over the entire space controlled by the pride. Lions organize their lives around a pride structure typically consisting of several individuals to more than a dozen, and in some cases larger. Females conduct most of the hunting, coordinating position and timing to surround prey. Males focus on territorial defense, repelling rivals, and maintaining pride stability. This division of roles allows lion prides to efficiently exploit large grazing animals, from wildebeest to buffalo. Prey that exceeds the capabilities of most other predators in the region. The evolutionary history of lions reflects the long development of this strategy. Belonging to the genus Panthera, modern lions emerged in the early Pleistocene, with ancestors once distributed widely across Africa and Eurasia. Ancient lion forms, larger in size, existed alongside one another in different environments. Over time, lion populations adapted to open savanna landscapes, developing powerful bodies, long limbs, and flexible social structures to exploit food resources that were unevenly distributed. Fossil evidence from East Africa indicates that lions have held a dominant role in African ecosystems for more than 1 million years, with physical form and survival strategies closely resembling those of present-day populations. Lions are the most socially organized species within the cat family. Each pride is formed by related females, their offspring, and one or several males that hold control. Females remain with the pride for life, maintaining a stable structure. Males occupy the dominant role for a limited period, typically 2 to 4 years, before being replaced by younger and stronger rivals. Changes in power are consistently accompanied by violence. When new males take over a pride, they often kill the cubs of their predecessors. This behavior forces females to quickly re-enter the reproductive cycle, introducing the genes of the victorious males into the pride. It is a direct mechanism of selection where strength determines the continuation of genetic lines. The gestation period of a lioness lasts approximately 110 days. Each litter consists of 2 to 4 cubs, with an initial weight of only 1 to 2 kilograms. And during the first weeks, cubs have not yet opened their eyes and are entirely dependent on the protection of the pride. Care is not provided by the mother alone. Other females participate in guarding, nursing, and supervising the cubs, forming a system of collective care. At around 6 months of age, cubs begin to follow hunts, observing and learning behavior from adults. By 2 to 3 years old, they develop sufficient physical strength to leave the pride or remain, depending on their sex and the prevailing power structure at that time. In the Maasai Mara, certain prides such as the Marsh Pride or the Notch lineage have persisted across multiple generations and are well documented. Their territories can extend across dozens of square miles. Males maintain boundaries through patrols, scent marking, and roaring. Females conduct most hunting activity. This division of roles keeps the pride functioning in a highly competitive environment. Within the Maasai Mara ecosystem, lions occupy the top position in the food chain. Their body size, strength, and coordination allow them to control most resource conflicts. In addition to hunting directly, lions frequently take kills from smaller predators. Cheetahs, after a chase that exhausts their energy reserves, are often forced to abandon prey simply due to the presence of lions and the pressure of superior strength. Lions are also capable of hunting ostriches, despite the prey's high speed and dangerous defensive ability. Such hunts usually target young or weakened individuals, using encirclement to reduce the prey's speed advantage. However, ostriches are not a preferred target due to high risk and low efficiency compared to hoofed animals. The influence of lions extends beyond hunting behavior. By controlling populations of large grazers such as wildebeest, zebras, and buffalo, they help maintain grassland stability. The remaining portions of carcasses become a food source for hyenas, vultures, and jackals, sustaining energy flow throughout the ecosystem. Within this cycle, lions serve as a central regulating force, where life and death operate under the same natural rules. Within the prey systems of cheetahs and lions, the ostrich represents a distinct variable. Its large body size, high speed, and defensive capability place this flightless bird outside the typical prey pattern. Its presence forces predators to assess risk before committing to an attack. The ostrich is the largest living bird, reaching nearly 3 meters in height and weighing over 100 kilograms. It is scattered across the open grasslands of the Maasai Mara. The darker plumage of males and the lighter tones of females blend into the landscape. But the key to survival does not lie in camouflage. It lies in movement. With speeds that can approach 70 kilometers per hour and long strides, ostriches are fast enough to escape most pursuits. Their powerful legs are not used for running alone. When cornered, a well-placed kick can cause severe injury and may be fatal to a predator. This boundary is clearly recognized by both cheetahs and lions. The ostrich's sensory system is optimized for open terrain. Large eyes provide an almost panoramic field of view, allowing movement to be detected from great distances. As a result, many hunts end before a predator can close the gap. Early detection of danger often means the chase never begins. Ostriches typically live in small groups, forming a constant alert network. When a threat appears, detection by a single individual is enough to trigger a group response. They may lower their bodies to blend with the ground, or break away in multiple directions, disrupting a predator's approach strategy. Even ostrich eggs, large and rich in nutrients, are not easily taken. Adults defend nests through direct confrontation, accepting risk to protect the next generation. Under the survival rules of the grassland, the ostrich is not a weak prey species, but a target selected only when conditions clearly favor the predator. For cheetahs, ostriches are targets chosen only under very specific conditions. Their large size and defensive capability place these birds outside the category of low-risk prey. Still, when an opportunity arises, especially involving a juvenile or an individual separated from the group, a cheetah may decide to attack. The cheetah's advantage lies in explosive acceleration across open terrain. The hunt typically begins from a distance sufficient to avoid detection, as the cheetah lowers its body into the grass and waits for a moment of reduced vigilance. The strike is launched in an instant, aiming to close the gap before the ostrich can reach full speed. However, this pursuit operates under strict limits. Ostriches are not only fast, but also capable of frequent directional changes, forcing the cheetah to constantly adjust its path while expending energy at a rapid rate. After a few dozen seconds, if no advantage is gained, the chase ends. Continuing would risk exhaustion, and that risk cannot be taken. Success rates in such hunts remain low compared to pursuits of smaller prey. The greatest danger comes from defensive kicks, which are capable of causing serious injury. As a result, cheetahs target only vulnerable individuals and attempt to destabilize them by striking the legs or neck. Even when a hunt succeeds, time works against the predator. The cheetah must feed quickly and quietly, as any delay may attract larger competitors. On the open grasslands, encounters between cheetahs and ostriches represent a severe test of survival rules, where speed does not guarantee victory, and every mistake carries a cost. Lions approach ostriches through the logic of collective force. This is not a preferred prey, but during periods of scarcity, every opportunity is considered. When conditions allow, a pride shifts to encirclement tactics, with individuals assigned distinct roles to disrupt the cohesion of the target. Some lions rush forward to create confusion, forcing the ostriches to react and lose formation. At the same time, others move in quietly from the sides or from behind. An adult ostrich outweighs a lioness, but that advantage diminishes once it is separated from the group and exposed to pressure from multiple directions. Even so, this type of hunt always carries high risk. Defensive kicks from an ostrich can cause severe injury, and its speed makes prolonged chases inefficient. Most attempts end without success. For this reason, lion prides typically focus on juveniles or individuals that have already been isolated. In many cases, patience becomes the primary strategy. A pride may lie in wait, near nesting areas, timing an approach for moments when the adult female moves away. Even then, failure remains likely, as ostriches defend their young with uncompromising resolve. When an attack does unfold, the order of the grassland is immediately disrupted. Panic spreads through the ostrich group. Defensive kicks are launched in desperation, and the lions tighten the encirclement. If an outcome occurs, it results not from individual strength, but from coordination. This is how natural law operates. Numbers prevail, but only when the cost remains within acceptable limits. Ostriches do not exist in the wild simply to become prey. Their role is embedded in the functional structure of Maasai Mara, like a quiet but indispensable gear within a vast ecological system. As omnivores, ostriches exert a direct influence on the grassland surface. They consume grasses, seeds, insects, and small ground-dwelling animals, helping regulate vegetation density and insect populations. Their heavy footsteps and nutrient-rich droppings continuously return organic matter to the soil. Maintaining the fertility required for the grassland to regenerate. Ostrich reproduction also sustains multiple trophic levels. Eggs and chicks become sources of energy for hyenas, jackals, and vultures, ensuring that no resource is wasted. Each raided nest is not a failure, but part of a survival flow redistributed across the ecosystem. The presence of ostriches forces predators to adjust their strategies. For cheetahs, they represent a test of speed and physical limits, where a single miscalculation can result in severe injury. For lions, ostriches are a secondary food source, targeted only when conditions demand acceptance of higher risk. The ostrich's strong defensive capacity compels both predators to weigh their choices carefully, reinforcing the principle that not every opportunity in nature is worth the cost. This is how the law of Maasai Mara operates. No species exists in isolation, and no organism serves a single function. The ostrich is simultaneously a survivor, a provider of energy, and a factor that shapes the behavior of those positioned above it in the food chain. In Maasai Mara, cheetahs and lions coexist, but their influence on the ecosystem is never equal. Natural law does not judge by beauty or speed, but by the scale of long-term control. Cheetahs act on the lower tiers of the food chain. By hunting smaller herbivores such as Thompson's gazelles and ostrich chicks, they help regulate fast-breeding prey populations, preventing localized surges that could damage grasslands. But because they hunt alone, are vulnerable to having their kills taken, and must constantly avoid larger predators, the cheetah's impact is limited in both space and time. In areas with high lion density, the cheetah's ecological footprint fades. Lions operate differently. They act directly on the main axis of the ecosystem by hunting zebras, wildebeest, buffalo, and even high-risk prey when necessary, so lions control large herbivores, species capable of reshaping the grasslands within a single season. Every carcass left behind becomes a resource for hyenas, vultures, and jackals, keeping energy flowing through the system. Even kleptoparasitism functions as ecological regulation, forcing other predators to adjust timing, location, and survival strategies. This contrast is reflected in resilience under pressure. Cheetahs, with a global population of roughly 7,000 individuals, remain close to extinction. Their cubs rarely survive, with many killed by lions before reaching maturity. Lions also face human pressure and habitat loss, but pride structure, large territories, and collective strength allow them to persist longer amid ongoing change. On the plains, the cheetah represents precision and refinement. Each hunt is a gamble. I'm pushing speed to the biological limit. But after the moment of success, it enters its most vulnerable state, and natural law offers no protection to the solitary. Lions, though slower, dominate through coordination and constant pressure. They do not need to be the fastest. They only need to be present at the right time and place. Their roar carries across the plains, not merely as a threat, but as a declaration of control. Even when facing ostriches, fast and dangerous animals, lions rely on numbers to break individual advantage. When weighed on nature's scale, the outcome is clear. Lions are the architects of the ecosystem, the force that sets the rhythm of Maasai Mara. Cheetahs are artists of speed, brilliant but fragile. In the wild, where every organism is bound by uncompromising rules, final dominance belongs not to the fastest, but to those strong enough to endure together. Maasai Mara was once a near-limitless expanse, a place where the laws of nature operated without seeking human permission. Spanning more than 1.5 million acres, these grasslands were wide enough for elephants to follow ancient routes etched into memory, dense enough for predators to vanish into tall grass, and balanced enough for life to pass from one generation to the next. But from the early 1980s onward, that balance began to tilt. Roughly 15% of Maasai Mara's area was taken away, not by drought or predators, but by human plows and fences. Native forests such as Niaqueri, once refuges for elephants, rhinos, and rare bird species, are being worn away day by day. More than half of their area has disappeared in just 2 decades, traded for charcoal and farmland. Old trees that had stood for decades are now reduced to blackened stumps, leaving behind a landscape as exposed as an open wound. As forests vanish, the land loses its ability to retain water. The Mara River shifts unpredictably. And cycles of flood and drought grow more extreme. The laws of nature do not seek revenge, but they always reclaim what has been broken. Wildfires have become a catalyst for this decline. In recent years, the number of fires has risen sharply, fueled by prolonged dry seasons and deliberate burns meant to expand grazing land. In just a few hours, fire can consume thousands of acres, scorching young grass, degrading soil, and erasing years of restoration efforts. When grasslands disappear, grazing animals are forced to move on or starve. Species that depend on dense cover for protection, such as rhinos, are pushed into the open where danger and human presence await. The specter of extinction is no longer a distant concept. Rhinos, once a familiar part of the plains, now survive only in small, heavily guarded populations, targeted for their horns on the illegal market. Elephants, symbols of memory and endurance, are disappearing as their migration corridors are cut off. Even lions, at the top of the food chain, are not spared. Shrinking territories, prey competing with livestock, and every attack on cattle, triggering retaliation, all converge. In the laws of nature, there is no good or evil, only consequence. As living space is compressed, conflict between people and wildlife becomes unavoidable. Elephants damage crops, lions kill livestock, and humans respond with traps, guns, and fire. Each human or animal death is not an isolated incident, but a signal that the system itself is fracturing. Hostility escalates, and violence feeds its own cycle. The laws of nature are impartial. They only record. When forests are cleared, fires are set, and habitats are fragmented, Maasai Mara does not collapse overnight. It weakens gradually, layer by layer, until biodiversity survives only in memory and documentary footage. And then, what disappears is not only wildlife, but the very order that kept this land alive for thousands of years. Under mounting pressure, Maasai Mara is still operating internal self-regulating mechanisms to maintain its own survival. Within the Maasai Mara National Reserve, humans have become part of the monitoring system, using technology to limit impacts that exceed critical thresholds. Since 2020, the deployment of unmanned aerial vehicles has enabled real-time surveillance of forests and poaching activity. Significantly slowing deforestation and preserving tens of thousands of acres of land from conversion. These flights deliver live data to ranger units, shortening response times and disrupting activities that threaten habitat integrity. In parallel, international conservation organizations are involved in stabilizing the living space of large species. Through GPS tracking devices, elephants and rhinos are monitored continuously, allowing early detection of poaching risks and protection of key movement routes. More than 200,000 acres of land have been maintained as ecological corridors, enabling animals to move between areas without being cut off by human activity. Conflict mitigation measures, such as elephant deterrent fences and crop damage compensation mechanisms, have significantly reduced direct encounters between people and wildlife in several sensitive zones. Within this system, Maasai communities play a central role. The shift from purely livestock-based grazing to conservation models linked with ecotourism has created a form of land use that generates fewer conflicts with wildlife. Community-managed conservancies maintain grasslands for wild animals through land lease arrangements, preserving habitat structure while providing stable livelihoods for local residents. These areas function as ecological buffer zones, where lions, elephants, and large grazers still retain space to exist. Long-term plans continue to expand the scale of intervention. Forest restoration programs aim to rehabilitate tens of thousands of acres of degraded land, restoring vegetation cover and the soil's capacity to retain water. Protecting forests also reduces carbon emissions, linking Maasai Mara to broader climate stabilization efforts. Saplings planted today do not yet provide shade, but they represent an ecological cycle being restarted. Maasai Mara is not merely a location, but a system operating at the limits of endurance. As disruptive forces are restrained and survival corridors remain open, the food web continues to circulate. The sound of migrating herds, hunts unfolding in silence, and the rhythm of wet and dry seasons are still present. The future of this land is not determined by emotion or appeals, but by whether the laws of nature are given enough space to continue operating.